Hello, today I'd like to share with you why I purchased this Lenovo Y50-70, what I paid for it, what I think it's worth, and whether or not it's worth your time. Now, when I bought this 6 months ago, I believe I bought a refurbished model or an open box one. It was $989, and at the time I thought it was, I mean, for the specs, it was a good deal. I just kind of wish I had bought the Y40, but now that I'm actually utilizing its extra horsepower, I don't regret it at all. And I just saw that the price has come down on them. A friend of mine just bought one of these as well, and through Adorama, it was $7.99 plus there was a $30 mail-in rebate. So for $7.69, you're going to be pretty hard pressed to beat this. I mean, specs wise, quad core, really good video card, AC wireless, super thin. Really, the only weak points are the battery life and the weight. There's one key reason people purchase gaming laptops, and that's so that they can game on the go. In my case, it was a little bit different. I had a really nice desktop computer, and I was spending too much quality time with it. My wife was nagging that I didn't spend enough time with her. But so I sold my gaming desktop, and I purchased a gaming laptop. And then what that allowed us to do is I could sit on the sofa next to her while she watches Say Yes to the Dress or My 600-Pound Life or some other reality show I could care less about. I could play World of Warcraft, she'd watch TV, but the key is we were sitting next to each other and we could chat and still, spend time together. So our level of happiness went way up, even though, a gaming laptop's nowhere near as good as a quality desktop setup. But in my case, that was the real draw here. Now, this is my third gaming laptop, and the first 6 months I didn't game on it at all. So I kind of regretted my purchase. But now I'm doing photography and doing some video editing, and the Core i7 in this is really pulling its weight. So at this point I'm really happy with it, but at first I kind of wish I'd bought the Y40, which is the smaller version. It still has a Core i7, but it's not actually a quad core, it's an ultra low voltage dual core, but it'd still be pretty good for gaming. And it was $300 cheaper. And I'm somebody that values every dollar I can get. I live from check to check, so it's not like I just drop $1,000 on a laptop and don't think twice about it. Okay, so on the left side of the laptop, you can see you have two USB ports, an HDMI, a collapsed Ethernet, and then where your AC adapter would plug in. Then on the right hand side, you got your headphone, microphone, SD card slot, another USB port, and then I believe this is your Kingston lock there. So here I would like to show how easy it is to slide it into a bag. This is a photography bag, and I'm not sure if this slit right here was actually designed for laptops because there's not a whole lot of space in there. It's nicely padded, but it seems like it was a perfect match for an Ultrabook. But being how thin this laptop is, it fits in there no problem. Okay, here I'm going to just briefly talk about the gaming. You're going to kind of laugh, but I don't really have any. This is the most graphically intensive game I have. It's called mechwarrior Online. And it's a free game, so it's really nothing super fancy. Most of the games that I played don't have super high requirements like Counter-Strike, Global Operations, or World of Warcraft, or Rift. Any of those games can play on this with probably ultra quality at the highest resolution. This game is the most taxing one that I've had, and as you can see here, I'm at 1080p. Not everything is maxed out, but it's completely smooth. At the end of this video, I'll also attach I'll see if I can attach an output from Shadowplay so that the quality's better, because when you're using a camera to try to capture the image quality of a screen, I've never really gotten that to work very well. So I just wanted to talk about this briefly because it is a gaming laptop and you probably would expect to see benchmarks and stuff, but I'm sure you can find any of that on Google. The stuff you don't usually see is, after somebody's used the laptop for 6 months, whether or not they'd still recommend it. And I certainly do if you're a power user or a gamer. It's super nice that you can throw this in any bag, but I want to say one thing about this is there is a gaming laptop that I think is better, and that's the Asus G line, like the G73, 74, 75. When you're gaming, typically you don't have a desk, you don't have a nice workspace, or at least in my experience, you know, when I'm sitting on the couch next to my wife, or if I'm at someone else's house, they usually don't have a good place. And the whole point of this is called a laptop, right? So you would set it on your lap. And this laptop is so thin, and the screen sits so low, that after a short amount of time, my neck starts to hurt because I'm looking basically down at my crotch instead of, you know, looking eye level at a screen. So my first gaming laptop was the G73, and it's a big fat laptop, and there's two advantages to that. The first advantage is it sits up above your lap, and then the screen sits on top of a thick base. So the screen is more at eye level, so you're not like looking down as much. So it was a much more comfortable laptop to use. The second advantage is when you're a big honking laptop, heat dissipation is so much easier. The G73 did not cause any like lap sweat. I didn't need a notebook cooler or anything like that. This one's not been too bad heat-wise. It certainly does get warm. Like right here, there's a fair amount of heat coming out, but it's not as bad as I've seen before. But yeah, the G73, if you don't care about portability, because they certainly did not fit in a bag. You'd have to have some sort of custom bag for it. But yeah, the G73 ergonomically was the best gaming laptop. But if you have a nice desk and you're going to be plugging this into your own mouse and an external monitor and stuff, then that's kind of a non-issue. But I did want to point that out because the whole point of these being portable, there is an ergonomics that comes into play. I love the keyboard, I love the touchpad, they have a nice feel to it, so all that stuff's good. But that was just something I wanted to point out. This is one more thing I always like to point out in any of my technology reviews is the power consumption. So right now it's sitting in mechwarrior Online rendering all the graphics in the world, and it's drawing 104 watts at the wall. Around just in the desktop, you know, charging the battery and just running the computer in Google Chrome, it was pulling about 55 watts. So just wanted to show you that. So that concludes my hands-on review of the Lenovo Y50. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. If there's something in particular you wanted to see, I'd be happy to give you a hand with that.
Target acquired. Heat level critical. Target destroyed. Target acquired.